Hello fellas, my name is Chupacharan. Today I would like to show you some functionalities and examples from ROS Client Library for Matlab, or what I call RCLM. The reason why I chose this name is that I was trying to imitate what ROS Client Library for Python does. I've been using both Matlab and Python to develop robotics algorithms for a while now, and I've noticed the difference in their programming paradigms. Although Matlab ROS Toolbox provides many functionalities for interfacing with ROS, the workflow for creating a node is somewhat functional programming. The API is obviously different from the Python one, so I decided to write a wrapper class around the toolbox and add some Matlab basic functionalities like timer and event listeners to the class. So basically I create an OOP framework for programming ROS in Matlab. I think that's what I did. So let's take a look at an architecture diagram for the examples before we run the actual program. As you can see, we have 3 nodes running in our system here. 2 of them will be based on RCLM. The first node is the TurtleSim node, which is a stripped down version of the famous ROS TurtleSim. It is done entirely in Matlab. It's subscribed to the command velocity topic and published its post to this topic here, which is perfect for the next node, the controller. The controller computes a controller based on the subscribe post and publish the computed controller to the command velocities topic. It also has 2 service servers. We can set the desired position of the controller using the set goal service, and we can tell the robot to start its controller using this enable service here. Once both nodes are created, we will interface with the controller node by using the scheduler. This scheduler will be run in command windows. Actually, all of them will be run in command window, but this one we are going to create it by ourselves. Let me show you the code to see what I mean. So here is an example. It's going to be the only example for now. You can find it under the share folder, and you can see the example folder here. The first 2 lines is going to be the RCLM nodes, and I will talk about them later. And the rest is going to be based on Matlab ROS Toolbox. Without the RCLM library, it is how you create a node in Matlab. So you create a node and you can add things like publishers, timers, servers. In this example, you're going to have 1 server, which is the notify arrival server. When the robot reaches its desired position, it will notify this server, and this server basically going to print out this statement here. And you're going to have 2 clients. The first client is the set goal client. It's going to set the goal to 8 for position, right? So the coordinate is 8 in X direction and is 4 in the Y direction. The second client is going to be the enable client, and we're going to call this service here using this call function. As you can see, it's very tedious. If you have to define callback, you have to create a function probably at the end of a script or the end of the function, or you can write it as another separate M files, and it's very hard to manage, right? It's probably better off if we can define everything as an object, and that's what I did for TurtleSim controller and TurtleSim node. Let's take a look at TurtleSim controller. It is basically a class that I define, which is basically a subclass of this superclass here, RCLM node. It is the core of this library. It's going to have several properties. This is where we construct the class. We're going to construct the superclass RCLM nodes, and we can create publishers here. It is going to create a publisher that publish to command velocities. This is a subscription. This is where we create timer and services. As you can see, is very similar to Python. This is where we define the callbacks for the subscriber. This is callback for the timer. It's very similar to Python. I can show you side by side. Let me open up. So here it is the Python script I'm using Visual Studio Code to program this. As you can see, this is the TurtleSim controller. That is the subclass of the superclass node. And as you can see, this is the constructor for the superclass, and this is where you create publishers. This is where you create subscription, This is where you create timers. So it's very similar to the way you write in Matlab, or I say the way you write in Matlab now is very similar to the way you write in Python because of RCLM library. Let's run the example and see what it does. So it's going to start a total sim, and it's going to start a controller. We're going to call the service control, and it's going to drive. It's going to start a robot. Once it reaches the position, see, the client from the controller actually sent a message to the service of the scheduler that we created, and here is display done, right? So that's basically what it does. So it's very I think it's very cool. It's very neat the way you can create a node like this. It's very similar to the one in Python. So thank you for watching, and I hope you guys enjoy the library. If you find any problems, you find any bug, please let me know. Thank you for watching again, and good luck.